Hello, this is Kinky, also known in YouTube world as Ball4981141. This will be my first LP about a guy who had a jumping toad that ran into some oddly placed radioactive waste and then grew bigger and fell into a hole. Why they did this, I have no idea. Why they had a novel that added more characters than this, I have no idea. But here we are, and we have a tank, so I guess it was worth it to have a big giant toad. Anyway, this is BlasterMastr by Sunsoft. I am playing the Euro version, not the American version, as you will find out in part 2 when people will probably wonder why I'm not using the grenade glitch. But I think it might be more of a challenge anyway, so I might just keep up with that. Anyway, about me, I live in Cassville, Missouri. Not really having that much luck with work, but I figured I would try to get a hobby. I am using a keyboard for this as well, if anybody's actually curious. I know a couple of LPers I've seen actually ask that when we make videos that they were just curious on what controls we use. So, I use the Z and X keys for my running guns. And if you hit select, you'll pop right out of your tank and then fall right straight down down the ladder into your first noob trap. This will get most players if you're just a little bit patient, and then just duck down, wait, and there you go, he dies. Noob trap down. It's a little bit trickier on the way out. If you want to skip to 6 minutes and 40 seconds, you can miss this. I'm just kind of doing some gun grinding and kind of showing the various guns in the game. You can also watch me fail nade. I do have a couple of soundtracks going on while I'm grinding, so at least it's not as much of a bore. If you decide to stay with me, I'll talk to you some more. Gray blocks kind of contain items in it. I know I kind of grabbed them quick, but I'll explain what they all do later along in the video, because we'll be using some of them in part 2. Part 1, you don't really need them. And just go back out the door, back in, and then we just use grenades again. Like I said, it's pretty much grind fest here. That guy does drop a gun power up if you're lucky, but most of the time he doesn't. And if you get hit, you lose guns, and losing gun is bad. H is for hover. The little missile thingy is like a tri-missile, and a little lightning bolt we'll be using in part 2 that shoots lightning from under your tank. There's also a third weapon, and we'll be getting that in part 2 as well. So I'm just going to take it as we go. You'll be noticing every once in a while there's these little braid boxes named P. Those are just your power, which you can see on the left hand side. Pretty much like a tank. If you run out of power, you go boom and you die. But they're more forgiving if you're a little guy than if you're in a tank, and I'll show you what I mean by that later. Some more grinding. Most of the videos won't be this grindy, but I figured just for the first video I would show off what a max powered gun is. Just to kind of show off, so if anybody's curious or whatnot, we can get that out of the road. Actually, the little mob guarding the door, I kind of wish they would have used more often, because that's actually a pretty decent guy, to fight for, like, second, third level or something. But he just kind of disappears for a long while. You never see him again. It makes you wonder if he's doing like a TK421 or something. that's a Star Wars reference for anybody who actually knows. If you don't know, well, you might check it out. Anyway, it's a little bit more grinding here, about halfway done. Like I said, I apologize. It's just a good way to get a good start out, show off the weapons. And then from there, I used to play BlasterMastr as a kid. A lot of players said it was one of the harder games for the NES. It might be in some sections of it, like the castle part, and definitely like the level 3 boss. Like if you got the USA version, it's kind of cheap, but it kind of has its hard moments and easy moments. A lot of cliche levels, whatnot. If you notice, like when I'm backing up, it's kind of like a nade trick of where you just go forward enough and then pull back. Your nade will actually go a little bit farther than normal. 3 more to go. And then we are done with grinding. If you have any beginner's advice or anything, let me know. The sound card issue I'm having is I'm using a Sigmatel sound drive, and it seems to not be compatible with fraps and whatnot. I've tried 50 million fixes for it, and eventually I've just decided to do a triple layering of one where I just record the video itself, then another where I'll add in some music, and then the third one is where I just do the commentary like this. I'll try to keep the music interesting for you, because I know that listening to the game music, it's good every once in a while, but it can get kind of boring too after a while. Especially like this Eric 1 music kind of gets a little bit redundant after a while, but it's not a long level, so we don't have to worry about it. Anyway, got one last gun level to go, and then we are out of here. Thank goodness. If you're on the first time in a life, or it seems like if you're on the second to last bar going up, your gun will have the max effect. But if you get your gun from highest and then lose a life, it goes to Wimpy gun, the Wimpy Grace Wave 1. I don't get why they did that, but might be just kind of like, just kind of to tease you or whatnot. Anyway, here we go. We run away from the door. He does nail us 2 times, but luckily, since we're in the overworld, we don't lose any gun. And here's the part that's kind of why I said it's good to be a little guy. You can pop it in the tank, and he's automatically healed. I'll show you that later. Also, during the LP, I will refrain from using save states other than from the beginning of recording. Just kind of, because, I might use it on some of the harder bosses stuff, but I'm pretty much going to use save states as a rest point, since I've played this game before. We're getting near the first boss already. Like I said, level 1 isn't really too long. I'm just doing some epic dodging there. And then we have the silly stupid ladder. You can only get it from the bottom. You can't just pick it up. See, as I showed you right there. And then once we get to the door, we'll go on to part 2, where we face our first boss. He's brainy, I'll tell you that much. And I see you.